Good evening, everybody. I just wanted to share a quick lesson with all of you that I learned and had to actually relearn just the other day on Memorial Day. And this lesson has everything to do with proper preparation. So, this Memorial Day, I had an 11-mile run with intervals in the center portion of the run, and the intervals were 3 2-mile intervals at faster than my threshold pace. So that pace was around a 7:30. So very hard effort, very serious workout, as you could tell by the volume involved and the fact that you all know most of my other training days are also very high volume. So this workout, in conjunction with all the other workouts that I've been taking on throughout the weeks, is very high volume. So with that being said, I knew that I was traveling out to visit my family on Long Island. And knowing this, I should have packed my nutrition supplement, packed whatever electrolytes that I would need for the workout, and had an idea of what am I going to eat since I'm not in my natural environment the morning of the workout to set myself up for a successful workout. So I didn't do any of this, and I figured, you know what, I could just wing it. I've been getting very fit lately. I'm sure I'll figure it out. And the morning of the workout came. I had these ketone IQ drinks that I've never taken before, tested those out, and chose to use this morning to test those out. Had basically an egg sandwich, very light. Gave myself about an hour to start the workout and had some electrolytes that I was able to scrounge up, but this was by no means my typical prep for a good morning run. Well, it was a hotter day than usual. It was not super hot, but it was hotter than it's been. It was around 72 degrees, and I knew starting the workout that it was already going to be pretty tough because, you know, the speed just didn't feel like it was coming easy. So, you know, just following the program that I set up in my Garmin just to run me through the workout, it kind of like beeps when you're supposed to change speed zones so that you know exactly how to move through your workout. You don't have to like constantly think about what you're trying to do. So I, finished the first interval of 2 miles and held my pace pretty well, pretty perfectly. Got to the recovery. In between each interval was a half-mile recovery. So half-mile recovery at around the 10-minute pace, 5 minutes. 5-minute recovery after each of these efforts. Got to the second set of 2 miles and, held the first mile of the 2 miles like pretty perfectly spot on, and, wasn't struggling to do so. It wasn't that bad. It was hard, but it wasn't that bad. And somewhere within that second mile, I was really struggling, and I held my pace, but I knew that I was definitely pushing a limit for the day. And at some point in that second mile, I felt like some chills just run through my body, and I knew that it wasn't that cold because it was 70 something degrees, and I was also pushing probably like 180 beats per minute with my heart. But finished out that interval with the pace that I was supposed to. Another recovery jog, got my heart rate down, got my body a little bit more recomposed, and then started the third and final interval where, again, for the first mile, held that speed, fighting much harder to hold it, and then trying to hold that second mile at the 7:30 was pretty much near impossible for my body. Like I couldn't really feel my legs. I definitely felt more of the shivers develop throughout my body, and got fairly lightheaded and tunnel vision because I was just pushing it so hard just to finish out this interval. So I finished it, and I only dipped about maybe 10 or 15 seconds on the last mile. So for all intents and purposes, successfully executed workout. But after the 2 mile cool down to get to 11 miles, I got home and I knew that I was in trouble because I hadn't taken any nutrition throughout the run, hadn't taken any water throughout the run, and just feeling those chills and pushing my body to the point where like my full core was dealing with like cramps up the rib cage, and then like by my chest I felt like I was developing some tension, and so I found somewhere to relax. I was sipping on some water, and then like my body just started to after relaxing just stop. Like I was developing full shivers, like couldn't really go to the bathroom even though I wanted to, and then eventually I threw up, and then curled in a ball like a baby and just kind of like laid under some blankets until my body was able to start to regain some heat, regain the desire to eat some food, and be able to actually stomach some water. And believe it or not, that whole process took like over 6 hours until I was able to eat again, and then it was time to drive home. So very good way to spend an extra day off for the week. Just self-sabotage, but self-sabotage right here is the correct word, because there were probably 1,000,001 things that I could have done better to prepare for this workout, and just this weekend in general. And that probably would have prevented this whole heat exhaustion escapade that I had to deal with on Memorial Day. So, bonus points for myself. I got the workout done, and I PR'd several efforts during that workout. And the question is, was it worth getting sick for the whole rest of the day, carrying over into even Tuesday not feeling so great, and then today I wasn't sure how my bike workout would go. It ended up going pretty well, but yes, it was worth it, but it's the very much needed reminder that I needed to say nutrition is something that you can't like mess around with, especially at this stage of training. So like we're 2 months away from the race, approximately, a little less than 2 months. Volume is pretty high. I think I'm near 200 miles total, including, running, biking, and swimming. So most of that is obviously coming from biking. 200 miles total a week, and that's a lot of hours just training. So if you're not constantly getting calories and carbs and water and electrolytes and rest in your body and in your programming, your system, then like you'll just be sabotaging your progress and also opening yourself up for these types of issues to happen. And when something like this happens, obviously, like Wednesdays are typically my programmed rest days. Today's Wednesday. Yesterday, being the day that I was recovering from this issue that happened on Monday, I swapped my Tuesday, Wednesday. and that's not ideal. That's not what I ever like to do, just for consistency purposes. But I pretty much had to, otherwise the workout just would not have been productive yesterday, and it was good today. So the effect of me not being prepared Sunday night and Monday morning didn't just affect my day and workout on Monday. It affected Tuesday and Wednesday as a result. So not being prepared is one of the worst things that you can do, especially if you're looking to grow, you're looking to push to the next level, and you're looking to get your Ironman done. I'm not worried about finishing this Ironman. I'm worried about pushing my limits and pushing myself to the next level. But I'd say the first battle with getting through an Ironman is consistency. The second battle is proper preparation, because there's this book that I read probably when I was like 17, and for some reason this phrase just has been stuck in my head, and whenever I hear the word preparation, this phrase literally like bounces from ear to ear, and it's proper preparation prevents poor performance. So proper preparation prevents poor performance. The 5 P's. So keep that in mind. We'll leave that as the second core principle that I'm developing. First one, consistency. That's how you get through your first Ironman. Second, proper preparation. That's also how you get through your first Ironman, but when you're talking about properly preparing, that is going to compound over time along with consistency to allow you to improve over time. So that's what I wanted to share today. I hope my stupidity and my unpreparedness helps you. If not, then I hope you found this story a little bit entertaining, and I will catch you in the next video. Please subscribe, please like, and have a good night.